Hemos tenido una visión de ámbito nacional, una visión del norte de Europa. Os invitamos a formular preguntas en el idioma que os sintáis más cómodos. Quien quiera formularla en inglés, por supuesto, quien quiera formularla en castellano, podríamos ayudarle, si las hay, mientras lo pensamos. David, ¿tienes alguna formulación mientras?
Thank you so much and congratulations for your amazing presentations. I would like to ask you something. If we could play roles and you pretended to be a politician, what would you ask to suppliers in terms of photocatalysis to be applied on site? If you were a politician, to break barriers?
First, I'm not a politician. So, if I just dreamed of such luck of being a politician, I hope it's not in Spain right now. See, but I would ask the industry to come up with numbers of what they can do using technology, and then I would ask them to commit that they actually deliver. And if they do that, the government should, of course, and I as a politician, would have to back that demand with money. Because I know that the more it gets used, the cheaper it gets. That's a fundamental rule for consumption. So of course it is expensive if you do 1,500 square meters and your annual production is high because you have investments, technology, it takes time, documentation. So you only bring the cost down if the politicians start demand. But they should ask industry, what can you then deliver?
Thank you. Thank you. And Song, your point of view, if you pretended to be a politician as well, what would you ask to suppliers,
if
please?
I were a politician with an academic background, yes, I think first of all, I would like to ask a lot of research institutes to do some fundamental research. And I would like to also ask some industry companies to run some institute, tests. If it works, it's really proved it works. I think there's no excuse say we don't want this technology. We should apply this technology if it's proved in the laboratory and institute. Why not stop? But it's very complicated. I would like to give two examples. The first one is in Germany. In Germany, we also have big issues about NO2. A lot of politicians think, well, the diesel cars are responsible for the emission of NO2. Why we have to pay the money for your technology? The car industry should pay it. This is the philosophy in Germany. But another very good example is in Korea. I attended a meeting in June this year in Seoul, and the politician, the governor said, yes, it is a problem from the car industry. They produce cars with very high emission, but we cannot wait for 5 or 10 years until the e-cars coming up. So we have to do something. And photocatalysis is one of the proven way to solve this problem. So it's different ideas, different philosophy. It depends where you live. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Bien, pues yo creo que podríamos seguir avanzando en la siguiente sesión. Y damos paso, bueno, insisto, ¿hay alguna pregunta más? ¿Alguien quiere formular alguna pregunta? Perdón, allá a la izquierda.
Silvia Suarez from CIEMAT, Madrid. So we have been working a lot in the Life Minus Street project, one of the projects financed by the European Union related to the NOx elimination by photocatalysis. So there are also other projects previous to our project, like for example the PhotoPack project. You know, so they conclude that the photocatalysis is not an optimum technology to reduce the NOx concentration in urban areas. So what is your opinion, or how you answer to these people that telling that it's not a good technology to reduce and it's not good enough to apply and to reduce the NOx concentration in urban areas?
I think it's a very common question, because photocatalysis, you cannot see it, you cannot smell it. You have to prove it with a scientific way. But a lot of people, they are lack of such kind of background. That's why I emphasize you have to do from laboratory, very small scale, medium scale, and at in situ. We have to persuade people with such kind of data, existed data, proved data. I know it's difficult because we have been working in this area of FCN, this company, German company, has been working in this area over 13 years. But it's still a long way. It's not so successful until now, as I have to admit. But we have to persuade them with proofs which done on the street. Thank you.
I come from a country where we worked a lot with wind energy, and in EU's first frame programs, number 1, 2, and 3 research programs, in all 3 of them they concluded that wind energy was not a clever way to deal with energy demands. So I think that that things develop, and also understanding that which is often a desire when you want to invent something, is that you want to have a solution that kind of solves the whole problem and leaves nothing else. And in my perspective of PhotoPack, that is primarily the conclusion that it is not sufficient, and there I agree. It is not sufficient to do photocatalysis, because you're right, it doesn't work when it's dark, it doesn't work when it's covered with snow. We have that kind of things. So there are definitely issues that you can say it's not sufficient. But not taking a contribution that's very profitable is, in my mind, wrong use of funds not to acknowledge that.
Thank you very much. Any other question? ¿Alguna pregunta más? ¿Os parece que damos paso a la siguiente sesión? Marta o... Sí, ¿no? En principio, David, sí. Abordaríamos la sesión número 3 rápidamente, pavimentos fotocatalíticos, con la presencia de Marta Castellote. Thank you very much. Le doy yo.